Let's create a Gantt chart. This first one will be to put with your client commitment. And what I've done is I've listed here all of the jobs that you have to have done. And what I did was I put in a name, a position name for who was responsible. You'll use real names: Fred, Sally, Mary, whatever. From the end dates, I generated just estimated from the schedule, and then a start date, kind of how long at what point I thought I would start these things. So to create the Gantt chart, we will have to start with the duration. And this equals the end date minus the start date. And we'll just copy and paste that all the way down. Now, one of the things that we need to know about Excel is when you put in a date, okay, we have it formatted, but it actually needs to know the date in this format. So we're going to put in the first date, which is 1/23, and here we're going to put in the ending date, which is May 1st. We'll format those with commas and no zeros. We'll just need that information. Okay, to start the chart, highlight the information that has the task, the person responsible, the start date, and the duration. Go to Insert, Bar Chart, Stacked Bar. And let's move this over here and make it big enough that we can work with it. Okay, this is a mess. It's got all kinds of junk in here we don't really need. First, let's get rid of the series number. That's the legend. The next thing we want to do is select the data that we actually want. We don't want series 1, so we'll remove that. What we really want is the series name, start date, and the series value, and you have to highlight and backspace over this and pick up the start dates that we want, tell it OK. And then we're going to add, because the other thing that we need is the duration. That's why we bothered to calculate it. And the series here, tell it OK. All right. Then for this section right here, we actually want these labels. Okay. And we're starting to get something that looks like a chart. Problem is, let's go down to the bottom. And the first thing that we notice is that this starts in November. We're not going to start in November. We start on January 23rd. So I can click in here and then right click and go to Format Axis. And I'm going to move this over so we can see. And I'm going to do a fixed beginning date, which will be this one, the first date we really need to start, 41662. Then we're going to set our maximum, which is the date that we can end this, which is 41760. Now the major units are how many days it is apart from these. So we should use something that makes sense to us, like 7, which is a week. And then we'll tell it to close, and we're starting to get something that looks like a bar chart. Like a Gantt chart. The next thing we'll notice is this is upside down. So I can click and right click to get the format axis. Okay. And what I'm going to do is tell this to categories in reverse order, but then if you'll notice over here, it puts the date at the top. So I'm going to tell it to cross at maximum category. All right, look at there. Okay, next, click on one of these, get rid of them by right clicking, and right here you have this little shape fill. We're going to right click and tell it no fill, and look, we're getting a Gantt chart. Click anywhere in here, go to layout, tell it plot area, more plot area options. We want a solid line border all the way around, tell it to close. Okay, so we're making some real progress here. Now, since we want everything in our report to be kind of the same color, we're going to highlight any of the bars, right click, and change our fill here to navy blue, because that's what we are going to use. And it changes all of these. Last, we're going to put in a chart title above the chart. And the easiest thing to do here is just equal and put your title in, and there we go. So now you have a very nice Gantt chart. Now, if you want to do something really special, we've assigned people that are responsible, but from the Gantt chart, we can't really tell who they are. So what we're going to do is I'm going to select, and then once more, on the management plan, which is done by the management student. I'm going to right click and find a different fill color. I'm going to use these just in order. And everywhere that the management student is, right click. Okay. Now I'm leaving the team leader as our main color because that's the one that's the maximum number of charts on here. Okay, now let's pick one for our marketing student. Let's change color. We'll give our marketing student a bright red. And everywhere the marketing student shows up, we'll choose bright red. And next, this is our team leader, so we're going to leave it alone. Next, we will pick our accountant, and everywhere we have our accountant, we will change the color. Submission 2, that's our team leader. The financial analysis will be our finance person, so we will pick yet another color. Let's pick turquoise. And then these last 3 are also our team leaders, so we'll leave them alone. So now we're starting to really kind of get this and see who is doing what, but it doesn't really tell us who is doing what. It's just all color coded. So what we're going to do is come up here, click inside the chart, and come to text box, and we're just going to type in. Again, you'll use your names. I'm just using positions for right now. The team leader, the management student, marketing student, the accounting student, and our finance student. Make this box big enough that it will show everybody. Okay, good start. Now what we're going to do is highlight each of these and color code them here, which is with this. Okay, so our team leader is navy blue. Our management student is dark red. Our marketing student is red. Our accounting student is green. And our finance student is this light blue turquoise color. Now those are still a little bit hard to read, so let's click in here and give this a nice white fill. See if that will work. That makes it easier to read. And let's give it a border. So I'm going to right click and format object and give it a line color solid. Okay, and since we're trying to keep up with the dark blue, we'll use dark blue, tell it to close. And look at there, you have a really cool Gantt chart.